Holas, everybody. Welcome back to Diana Moon Mediapunker. It has been some time, and I apologize. 2018 was supposed to be a year where I did a lot of different things, where in theory I had a job. I finished off a bunch of certificates from school and did a lot more videos. I did technically do some more videos. I did them for school, which I will be showcasing a couple of them very soon. And I've done a lot more streaming actually on Twitch. I know in the beginning of the State of the Media Punker, I mentioned that I would be doing Twitch streaming. It came on and off, and I mostly was on other people's channels. Um, and I will have some links in the description for that. I just wanted to apologize for my loyal um, subscribers. There's still plenty of you. Thank you for sticking with me despite the huge lull in everything, pretty much. What had happened was shortly before 2018 started, my father got sick and he had to go into dialysis. And that kind of started changing my perspective a little bit. And it affected me and it affected my mental health for a long time. And it still affects my mental health, but not that wasn't the only factor. And then around March or so, my mom decided to have her knee surgery, which is something she'd been putting off for a really long time because she was afraid of being out of work for a little bit while she recovered. But she was in so much pain that it needed to be done so that she could, function besides just work and sleep. And through her recovery, found some discrepancies with her heart, and she had to have in June on my birthday bypass surgery because they realized that even though she had been having so many symptoms and she'd been going to the doctors often and complaining about these symptoms, that they never thought to actually examine her heart before this last time. And so that was a thing, and that was very scary. It was textbook, thankfully. Textbook surgery. She recovered very well. She's doing really well. So that was the knee surgery. She's a little bit more active. Still, 2018 was still pretty rough. I was lucky enough to join one of the projects that Tanya DePass of I Need Diverse Games had started, and that was having showcasing on I Need Diverse Games tabletop players and GMs who weren't straight white male. And so created through two very talented GMs and tabletop developers, or I guess they were former tabletop developers, indie developers, um, started the Reclaimers RPG, which is a almost pretty much weekly, give or take a couple of weeks where, life happens and holidays happen on the INDG, I Need Diverse Games Twitch channel where we would stream indie RPs throughout the entire year of 2018 for the most part. I was lucky enough to be able to participate in those, and they were fantastic. And I'm still a part of it. We did Tenra Bansho Zero, which is a very high drama and high dices because you're rolling 20, 30 dice at a time practically sometimes. Samurai fantasy, and that was really entertaining and fun. And unfortunately, we only have a couple of those episodes saved on the playlist. And after that, we did another really fun run of a game called, or a game engine called Primetime Adventures. And in that one, once again, we unfortunately don't have all of it say recorded because of miscommunication and not understanding that Twitch is really bad at keep being consistent in what they say they'll do for partner channels. And then we went to Ryotama, which is a Japanese indie RPG, and we're now working. We had to take a hiatus from the Ryotama one, unfortunately, because it got into a really great spot with it. Um, Lots of intrigue, And we're now doing a Universalis game, which basically you're creating your own story world and everything. And one thing I was able to do while role playing through all of these different adventures is it was one of my goals because the Reclaimers, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I didn't really have a script for what I wanted to do for this video, other than just have this video finally done. Um, we're all like either people of color, mainly we're people of color, but we're also of different identities and everything to showcase that you know, you can have a diverse and entertaining group of RPGers. Um, doing fun stuff and trying different things, and it doesn't just have to be all D&D, as fun as D&D is. 'Cause that's another thing I was able to do this past year. More on the last half of the year. I am also in a podcast for a D&D 5th edition, and I haven't played D&D since high school. Um, and those, along with studying very hard in classes, getting certificates, I now have certificates in audio video for the web and foundations of broadcasting media arts. And I am this close to getting two more certificates, one in convergent media and the other one is in motion graphics. And all these certificates I'd essentially gone back to school to beef up my skills and my resume so that I could get a job in the video game industry. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before in previous State of the Media Punkers or in casual while I've been playing video games for you guys. Because there's a lot of areas of the industry I would love to be part of. My main goal, as I pretty much tell everybody, is I want to be a writer. I've always wanted to be a writer. I always thought I would be a writer of books. I still will be a writer of books as soon as I finish those darn manuscripts. But a writer of video games or shows, doing the narrative part, the scripting, the world building. But I like doing things like making fun graphics, so social media. um, and going to conventions and reporting on them. I've done live tweets for panels, and those have been fun. And I've done in school, like, been producers, been switcher for the control room, been camera person, been a little bit of talent too, though not consistently, but I do enjoy it when I have a script to read. And so I've been able to do all these things and stream on and off, but I always wanted to get back to recording games on YouTube. Part of the appeal of Twitch is to have an audience interact with you in real time and help you along, and it makes it not feel so lonely when you're recording. I know some YouTubers who record, they're like, they see they they record with the knowing that people are going to watch and people are going to comment, and I still like that, but I kind of like the interaction. It's sometimes like with Twitch streaming, or even if I'm just watching other Twitch streamers, it's the interactions that really get me through my day. Because through all of this with my dad and then with my mom, my grandmother has been in and out of the hospital, and I've been taking care of her as best as I can. And unfortunately, she had a fall after we got back from PAX, because I went to PAX West. I'm really grateful for Tanya for giving me the opportunities she has in helping her in her organization. Been able to go to a couple conventions, taken my mom so that my mom could have some vacation time. That wasn't just sleeping in, even though sleeping in is always very good. And to network and grow. And I think, and even some of my friends have mentioned, I've grown a lot in 2018, been a little bit more extroverted and putting myself out there. Um, and I even was lucky enough to, I can now technically officially say I am a game developer. I am part of the game industry because I did, from 2017's PAX, got the opportunity to work with a indie game company, Howling Moon Software, and they made a really neat game called Verdant Skies. And Verdant Skies is similar-ish, I guess you could say, to like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, um, Minecraft, I guess. But basically, it's in space, and I will be playing that. I've been meaning to play that. It's in space. You're on an alien planet, and you're helping other uninhabited besides like animals, alien animals, planet, and you're trying to make a colony there. And they had, and they're written by, and the game was created by this lovely like couple who happened to be white, who knew that they can't, as much as they wanted to have a diverse cast, they knew they didn't have the expertise obviously in it. So they reached out to people to get sensitivity reads. I wasn't the only one, but I was one of the ones that they reached out to for two of their Latinx characters, brother and sister, who were going to be romanceable. And so I got I was lucky enough to be able to do my first sensitivity read and edit through a game that's published, that's out there. And then for a brief time, I was contracted by a mobile game company in San Francisco, Lovestruck Games, who are Voltage Entertainment, who makes Lovestruck Games, which is a series of like mobile choose your own adventure, like visual novels, basically romance. And they're apparently one of the few ones that cater to women, and that have LGBT characters that you can romance. And I was lucky enough to write for Nova for a couple of seasons, and that was exciting and brand new. And definitely taught me what I can and can't do, and that I really never kicked the habit of leaving things last minute. Um, I even had my first overnight. Like even through college and high school, I never did an overnight of writing, staying up, studying writing, and it is definitely for the youngsters, that's for sure. Um, so between that and school and taking care of my grandmother, things got hectic. I didn't have enough privacy. My father retired because of his illness. Um, One of the few things I did was able to get, because I was streaming, as you can see, I have a blue screen. I don't have it green screened out because I realized there's too much blues and purples on me, and I really should switch it to the green screen to really contrast. But I like the blue better, so we'll just leave it like that. And yeah, mental health was just, despite everything, it was really rough going for me to do what I wanted to do, to focus beyond just like what was due immediately, and not be able to think farther down and prep farther down. And like I said a little bit earlier, my grandmother, she had a she had a fall after we came back from PAX, and she's fallen many times because she's a very stubborn woman. And unfortunately, her health declined, and it was a very tough winter for me. And unfortunately, she passed away a little under 2 months ago. Just when just when I was finally in not coincidentally, I was finally in a place where I had gotten as best as I can without any professional help, which is something I'm still seeking out, but it's difficult when you're limited in insurance. Um, got my depression to a state where it was manageable, where I was sleeping a little bit more regularly and was getting myself out there. I was going to events and really putting myself out there, and was revamping everything, my portfolio, my resumes. I did a whole weekend where I did the dreaded cover letters for like 10 different jobs, and fortunately didn't get any of them. And I was going to once again start doing streaming on a regular basis and start recording again. I really have been wanting to record so many games, both on the PC and mobile. And then she died, and I'm still recovering from that. Um, it came kind of sudden, it came kind of expected. I just thought I had a little bit longer with her, but we, she was in our life, in my life, every single day. And she was loved and she loved us, my family. Um, and I wanted, sorry, and it's gonna take time, and it's the first major death that's affected me in a really long time. My uncle, my uncle's husband, John, he died when I was in high school. And when you're in I think when you're extremely young, unless you deal with something like that affects yourself or a more immediate family member, even as close as I was with John, there was a disconnect. Even when my great grandmother died, I was in fourth grade, and there was still, when you're younger, you don't, and it could be just also with the way my mental health has been in the past couple of years regarding that. And it's been hard, but I want to stream. I want to stream. I want to YouTube for you guys, even though both, even though there's so many outlets out there that are claiming they're both dying mediums now. Um, but it's community. And I want to restart up again my book review site, my game review site. Um, get my opinions out there. Even if no one cares to listen to them, at least I could say that they're there and I tried. And so, and I wanted to do the State of the Union, State of the Union, State of the Mediapunker again for some weeks now because this is what I want to do. I don't think I'll ever become a full-time YouTuber or full-time streamer. Um, I don't have what it I don't have what people want in that regards. But I still think I can make a small impact somewhere, and I think it'll help. And I still want to make my career in games or in entertainment, really. Make my career in entertainment. And right now that's in games, and hopefully that will happen. I have a lot of plans for this year. With the changing situations, I should now have the ability to record more often and stream more often without worry of interruption, without having to pause as much as I used to. And I still want to do this for you guys and for myself too, of course. So that's where things have been going, have been. Uh, I've been told it's going to take a long time to get back to a sense of normalcy. But I think I can do that, and I think it will help with doing projects like these, doing YouTube videos. Thinking maybe starting maybe like a bi-weekly vlog of maybe talking about the RPGs I've been in. Because there's another thing, and that started definitely near the last few months of 2018. I got into a community called The Gauntlet, and they do indie RPGing, and they're all about inclusivity. Though it's still, from what I can see, still very white and male, but I mean, there's only so much you can do, really, and especially when there's a pay gate. There's only certain types of people who really can afford, but they do their best to try to get people. They do scholarships for the for the pay gate, um, and they do their best for outreach because otherwise I wouldn't have heard of them and I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing it. And they do, and it's the same thing. It's just like short sessions of maybe one-offs or 3, 4 sessions in a month of playing awesome random different games. Sometimes you're play testing, and I've been doing quite a few of those because I have gotten re-addicted back to RPGing, tabletop RPGing, and I've been having a blast and creating characters and finding out like that maybe I am a little funny sometimes, a good funny, not the bad funny, and entertaining people. And I'm hoping part of that will help reignite me finishing some manuscripts so that way I can start. And I've met some really awesome people through Tanya and through going to these conventions and events and through the online who inspire me and make me want to write more and create more, and that's what I want to do. The channel's still gonna be the same. I still want to, as I play the games, critique them, media punk them, like I always say, to see like what they could do better, what they did do better, and play games that have more diverse characters, that have companies who are at least who are doing their best to try. And I also want to do, and I think this is also helpful for possibly for my grieving process. I've always been a creative person, obviously. I like to be hands-on. I always go in and out of being hands-on because for me it was just always easier to go back to drawing or writing, coloring. But I like crafting. And so I think I will also be doing some craft videos. I did stream near the end of the year, not necessarily quite exactly craft, but Lego building. And so I did some Lego building and I will upload those streams to here. There's a possibility some of it, the audio might get muted because I got obsessed with the Into the Spider-Verse Christmas album and was playing that nonstop. If you have not heard, even though it's past Christmas now, if you have not heard the Christmas album from Into the Spider-Verse, you're missing out because it's a delight. Um, and I did do one of the streams I did, and I will be uploading it to YouTube just for as an archive. Uh, when Infinity War Part 1 came out, I was so inspired by that I had a live chat on stream on Twitch about it, discussing it. All of it's old stuff now, like all the speculations, um, and all early theory and all that has been done. But I might want to do that some more of that. I don't know if I'll do that with every Marvel that comes out, possibly. I don't know if I'll do necessarily like weekly movie reviews or bi-weekly movie reviews or even like, but it might be something. Um that's a possibility in the future. But yes, I do want to do creative. I still have the as some of you have been here since the beginning, practically, I was doing a steampunk slat. I still want to do that. I still buy games that have that steampunk or claims they're steampunk, and I want to play them. I am hoping to come out with series of posts to happen. I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'm able to upload videos daily like some people are able to do, but I do want to have a couple of themed days, like Mobile Mondays, where I play mobile games for you guys. Um, Finish off series I have started. Like I will finish read only memories, despite the problematic issues that came around the company when that game was being made. Because I still think it's a good game, and I think that majority of the people who worked on it are good people, and they deserve to have their story told, their what they worked on told. The thing is once I finished that game, I had planned to do like a couple of like replays just to get different endings or different ways of going about it. Listening to they now have it fully voice acted, but I'm just gonna stick to the original classic version that I got of it, and playing a whole bunch of other things and finishing, like I said, finishing things. Those will be happening slowly. I don't think you'll see much of January, anything absolutely brand new. Mostly, I will be spending time editing and re-editing, recutting the stream videos I do have. With the RPGs, I was able to save our Ryutama from the get-go. That will be coming, and the videos will be put back up on the INDG Twitch archive because that's the only one I have access to. And since I'm the one that has the videos saved, that's where they will go. As much as I would love to make a copy for YouTube. But there are many plans. I'm hoping to do some contributions to tabletop games in actual like lore for certain games or new hacks for some games, and I'm hoping to be RPing a lot more in bigger spaces. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to state. Third time's the charm, they say. Hopefully, we'll have get to interact a lot more. We'll get to play a lot more games, have fun, critique, and enjoy 2019 before the world explodes. If you have any questions, comments, you can leave them down below. I'll leave all my information down below. I'm still on Twitter. I am still on Tumblr. You can reach me there if that's preferable than YouTube comments, because I can understand how that can be. And if there's any games you'd like me to try out and play, I might have them already. If it's within reason of price range, then I'll work on those too. But I hope you all have a great 2019 and see you soon.